Welcome to
Gravatt Stories for GIGI Kids.
a place where
Kids like us
will be inspired
by
Awesome Christian stories.
Ow!
Oh, what happened, Valentina?
The hammer hit my finger.
Oh no, that's painful.
I actually have a splinter in my finger.
Hi, boys and girls. You're probably wondering where we are. Well, we are at a carpentry shop where we can do things out of wood.
I'm trying to make a chopping board in the shape of an apple. It's not that easy.
I'm trying to make a wooden bookmark for my dad, and I'm trying to make a wooden shoe for my mom.
Oh, you guys, those projects are super cool. Well, I'm making something special for Easter. We've got a special program at church, and I am making a cross.
Oh, that is so cool. I can't wait to see that Easter program.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Talking about this special program, what is this special program everyone's talking about?
Oh, Valentina, it's going to be wonderful. It's the story of a little boy called Harrison who built a little boat.
Oh, that boy you told me about?
Yes, we're making that story into a drama.
Yes, I love that story.
Do you want me to say it again?
Oh, yes, please. I don't know this story.
Well, you have to hear it.
Oh, but wait. Before we go to the story, Poppy, what do you have in your glitter box today? Something Easter-ish?
Yes, I almost forgot. In my glitter box today, I have 2 special crafts, and I think you're going to love them. Okay, so craft number 1 is an origami boat that has to do with Harrison's story, but you have to listen to know why they relate to each other. And craft number 2 is a super special craft that you can give someone for Easter. It's a special rock painting craft. You might have seen this before, you might not, but make sure you visit the links below that will take you to both videos. That's right, videos. So make sure you click on them. It'll take you to both videos and you'll be able to follow along with me doing the craft. So have fun, happy crafting and happy Easter. That's all from me. Bye.
I can't wait to do the crafts. Now, can we please get into the story?
Almost. We actually have a very special hello to say first. We would love to say a special hello shout out to Kaya. Hello, Kaya. And Kaya is all the way from Canada.
Kaya loves listening to the podcast at night, and one of her favorite stories is Mae's Jam Dilemma. Thank you, Kaya, for loving the podcast and for listening to it, and also for your awesome email. We loved getting it. And also, we're saying hello to your little brother. We hope you have a great new week.
Don't forget, boys and girls, that you can also write to us via email or at our PO box. Just follow the link below. And Kaya, we're sending something special to you in the post, so keep your eyes peeled. Bye!
Okay, Valentina, finally it's time for the story. Let's get started. Harrison and the Boat, written by Mae Esther. As soon as the bell rang, Harrison Wilson grabbed his bag and ran out of school as fast as his legs could carry. He was excited and couldn't wait to get home to work on his secret project. The day before, his dad had bought him some wood, nails, hammer and glue, so he could do what he loved best: build things. Harry loved to build things. Once, he'd made a dollhouse for his sister's birthday. Another time, he'd made a little skateboard for a friend. And another time, he'd made a blue and white stepladder for his mum. If Harry had wood and nails, he would build anything his heart desired. He was great at building things, and he spent many hours in the workshed making them. Sometimes he even forgot to do his homework. His teacher, Mrs. Jones, had talked to him many times. She'd even talked to his parents so they could remind Harry to do his homework. Harry had promised to do better and improve. Huffing and puffing, Harry got home, gave his mum a quick hello and bolted outside. "Harrison Wilson, where are you off to?" His mum dried her hands on her floral apron and followed him. "You need to take out the rubbish and then do homework." "Ma, I promise I will. I just need to build this new project I'm working on." "Harry," his mum shook her head. "Once you get in that shed, you never come out. Come do your homework and throw out the rubbish, please." please, 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 Ma. Give me 1 hour and I promise I'll do it then. I just need to get this started. He put his palms together like he was praying and begged his mum. Mrs. Wilson exhaled and nodded. Okay, 1 hour, she indicated with her index finger. Yes! Harry jumped in the air. Thank you, Ma, he shouted. He grabbed some paper and pencil and started drawing his new idea. When it was finished, he colored it in. Then he admired it and smiled. It was good. He grabbed some wood and started the process of measuring each corner so that everything looked perfect. Harrison! In the distance, he heard a voice calling him. Harrison! It was his mum. Harry shook his head and moaned. He couldn't believe an hour had gone so quick. Reluctantly, he put his things away and hurried to get the rubbish out and do homework. His mind kept drifting back to his secret project and couldn't wait to start it again. After dinner, Harry was allowed to go back to the shed and work for another hour on his project. Son, what are you working on? His dad asked, walking him towards the shed. Harry smiled. It's a secret, Dad. I think you're going to love it though. It's going to be cool. His dad smiled and patted him on the back. Okay, if you need any help, let me know. Harry nodded. Thanks, Dad. Then he closed the door to the shed and went back to work. Every day after school, he worked on his project. He cut, he sawed, he sanded, and he hammered. He looked at his creation and how it was taking shape. So far, it was looking awesome. One day after school, his friend Sam invited him to go have ice cream. Want to come? Sam asked. Harry thought for a little bit and scratched his head. He mumbled. He wanted to hang out with his friend, but he also wanted to go home and finish his project. It was almost finished. I can't today. I need to finish my project. Maybe next week? After saying bye, he sprinted all the way home. He took out the rubbish, did his homework without being asked, and dashed to the shed to finish his work. The building of his project was done. Now he needed to paint it. He took out the blue and white paint and red, mixed them up on a little dish, and started painting. Then he found some strings and cut long pieces. He got screws and nails and continued working. He got material and cut them out too. Harry admired his creation. It was looking spectacular. 2 days later, he started varnishing the finished project. On Sunday afternoon, after the rain had stopped, Harry dashed into the living room where his family sat playing a board game. It's finished, he cried. Come have a look quick, come. Harry ran ahead as his family followed close behind. Everyone was excited to see what he had been working on for the last few months. Harry lifted a box and displayed his hard work. Everyone gasped. His little sister clapped. Ooh, Harry, it's a little boat. I love it, she squealed, walking around it. Harry grinned, feeling very proud. His creation was really, really good. He loved it. For the last few weeks, he had been working on a sailboat, a little boat that he could take to the lake on the weekends and watch it sail happily on the water. His boat was blue and white. The sails had blue and white stripes, and he had a red lifesaver hanging on the side. On the corner left side of the boat, he had carved his initials, HJW, which stood for Harrison Joel Wilson. Dad, want to go with me to the lake and sail it? His brown eyes round with anticipation. A great idea, son. Let's all go. It has stopped raining, Mum said. Maybe we should hurry before he starts again. Carefully, Harry picked up his boat, cushioned a box with an old shirt, and sat his precious boat on it. Soon the family arrived at the lake. It wasn't raining, but dark clouds were forming in the distance. A thunder rolled. No one heard it. Quickly, he and his dad got the boat out, and Harry placed it gently on the water. The little boat wobbled a little from side to side, but then he stopped and started moving slowly down the lake. Woohoo! Harry yelled happily. It's floating! High five, Dad! It started to drizzle. Harry looked up, hoping it would stop. Harry's mum and sister went to the car and waited for the guys to finish. Don't stay out too long, Mum said. Yeah, his sister echoed. It looks like a storm is coming. Harry and Dad nodded, but weren't really listening. They were too distracted watching the boat make its way down the lake. They didn't see the angry clouds rolling in, or hear the thunder rumbling louder. The rain started to get heavier and the gentle wind picked up speed. Suddenly, deafening thunder rumbled out of nowhere and they gasped. Harry groaned loudly. "Dad, it's a storm!" The lightning and thunder got louder and stronger, booming, rumbling, roaring. Soon the heavens opened and rain gushed down. "Harry, grab the boat and let's get out of here," Dad shouted. Then, without warning, the wind started roaring and picking up speed. The wind was furious. He hissed and roared and groaned and moaned. Harry looked around for his boat, but he couldn't see it. The water was churning furiously and there was no sight of his precious boat. "Dad, I can't see it," he cried. He started running further into the water, but his dad grabbed his arm. "It's too dangerous, Harry. Let's go." Dad pulled him out. Harry blinked back the tears. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. Once home, they went to change into dry clothes and sat at the kitchen bench drinking hot chocolate. "Harry," Dad began, "tomorrow we can go and look for your boat, okay? It's probably tangled on some reeds or something." Mum tried to sound cheerful. Harry nodded silently and took another drink of his steamy, creamy hot chocolate. It wasn't fair. For 30 whole days, Dad and Harry went to the lake to see if they could find the white and blue boat. But nothing. It had disappeared. Harry knew that the storm must have broken it into pieces and the water had swallowed the wood. Harry was sad. "Why don't you build another one?" his sister said. Harry shook his head. "No, it's not the same," he said. One day, 3 months later, Harry and Dad went to town to get a gift for Mum's birthday. Dad said he was going to go to the jewelry shop to see if they had the watch Mum had always wanted. In the distance, Harry saw the treasure box shop, a place he really liked that sold second-hand toys and other trinkets. "Dad, can I go to the treasure box, please?" "Sure, son," Dad said. "Meet you back here in an hour." Harry jogged towards the shop and stopped to admire their big bay window. They always had something cool on display. Suddenly, he gasped. His heart started beating faster and his breath caught. No, it couldn't be. Could it? He squashed his face against the glass and stared. Displayed on a stand was a little wooden blue and white boat. The sails had blue and white stripes, and there was a little red lifesaver hanging on the side. The little boat glistened in the sunlight. On the corner left-hand side of the boat, there were some initials carved. He craned his neck to see but he couldn't. Too much sunlight streaming through the glass. Harry ran to the store and stormed in. "Mr. Moore, Mr. Moore," he called out. An old man with salt and pepper-coloured hair and chocolate-coloured skin bobbed up from behind the counter. He placed a box of lights on the bench. "Harrison Wilson, I haven't seen you in a long time," he grinned. "How are your mama and papa?" Harry mumbled good thank you and then asked, "Can I see the boat that's on display, please?" Mr. Moore smiled. "You sure can. It's a good boat." Harry held his breath as Mr. Moore opened the glass and took out the beautiful little wooden boat. He grabbed the boat and looked at the initials. And there, on the corner, left-hand side of the boat, were the initials HJW, which stood for Harrison Joel Wilson. "This is mine, Mr. Moore. This is a boat I made with my own hands. I created this." But how did you get it?" Mr. Moore frowned. "You made this?" he whistled. "Great work, young man." "How did you get it?" Harry asked again. "A fisherman found it tangled among some reeds. It was a day after a big storm many months ago." Harry nodded. "Yes, I lost it during the storm and Dad and I couldn't find it. I had to look for it all this time." "But how do you know this is yours? It could belong to anyone." Mr. Moore walked towards the counter. Harry followed. "Because he has my initials, see?" He pointed to the corner of the boat. HJW, Mr. Moore said out loud. "Yes, for Harrison Joel Wilson," Harry said, touching the boat softly. Oh, how he'd missed it. "Can I take it back, please?" he asked. "I bought that boat from the fisherman, Harry. I can't just give it to you. I can sell it back to you, though." Harry's eyes rounded as big as plates. But, Mr. Moore, I made this," he said with force. "I know, son, but I paid $10 for it." You have to pay $20. Harry gaped. He touched his pocket. He had saved $20 for many months by doing lots of chores around the house. And now he had to use them on the boat he had created? Life was not fair. But Harry loved the boat too much and couldn't leave it. After paying for his boat, Harry walked out and held it tightly to his chest. "You are mine twice," he said. "Once because I made you, and once because I bought you." Harry whistled all the way home. His heart was happy. This month, we are celebrating Easter and remembering the story of Jesus dying on the cross. Do you know that Jesus is like Harrison from the story? Do you know why? Well, Harry created a boat. Jesus created us. Harry lost the boat during a storm. Jesus lost us because of sin. Harry found the boat again, but had to buy it. Jesus found us again, but he had to buy us by dying on the cross. Harry got his boat twice, once because he made it and once because he bought it. We belong to Jesus twice, once because he made us and once because he bought us. You can read the story of Jesus' crucifixion with your family in Matthew 27:32-56. Thank you, Jesus, for dying for us on the cross.
Oh, I just loved that story. I want to listen to it again. It was so special.
I agree, but it's time for us to go. Bye!
Happy Easter!
I wonder if I could make a boat.
And don't forget that you are GIGI kids, gorgeous in God's image.